Hi, my name's Sean Taylor. That's my friend Chris Ford, a.k.a. the Objective Geek of YouTube and Twitter. You should check out his YouTube channel and his Twitter feed. And he is here because Jesse is not feeling super well. So Chris agreed to jump on for the Pokedjacent topic this week, which just by chance we had decided is going to be Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl. So Chris, Pokedjacent is not, I always say it's barely informative and it's not at all persuasive. It's just 5 minutes to talk about anything other than Pokemon. No offense, Ash. It's really hard to talk about Ash Ketchum for more than 5 or 10 minutes without developing a headache. So, Chris, thanks for covering for Jesse. I appreciate it. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for letting me be on this podcast, Pokedjacent. I listen to it every now and then. I feel honored to somewhat just sub in for Jesse. One of these days, my plan is to have him on our podcast, Avatar Last Podcasters. If only I have a very specific topic that I think he would love to talk about, like what if Avatar actually was an anime, just how would it change and stuff like that.
I know that he would
But
absolutely eat that up, and we're going to have to block a very large chunk of time in
yeah,
order to cover that question.
yeah. I have so many thoughts on that matter, good and bad. But anyway,
Well, I don't shameless plug our podcast often enough on this podcast, so I'll say, hey, go listen to Avatar The Last Podcasters. That's on Chris's YouTube channel, which you should just generally go check out. It's The Objective Geek. I'll put all the contact stuff down in the description, like always. And Chris, you and I both have Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl for the Nintendo Switch, and I got mine just like a week ago. I probably invested about 2 hours. You've had yours for 3-4 weeks. Not sure how much
yeah,
you've been
but I've
playing.
invested about the same amount of
Yeah.
time, honestly.
And, that might be very foreshadowing for the review because, Chris, in short, I think my best review is that this game is fine, but probably unnecessary.
To me, it's necessary, but it's a complete. And I think you'll agree with this. It is an absolute missed opportunity. Like if one
Yes.
ever existed. All right, so yeah, so this game is a pretty um it's a pretty faithful Smash Bros. Uh adaptation, I guess, but for
I always
Nickelodeon
say
characters.
clone, right?
Clone, yes, there we go,
It's
clone.
like not hiding the fact that it just is
No,
Smash
yeah,
Brothers, and that's fine.
Brawl is in the title, and Brawl is like the third game in the Smash Bros. Series. Um, yeah. But my biggest thing they didn't clone over, my biggest issue is the up button. And I find it so hard to play the game because it doesn't use up button to jump. I know for other people that's not a big issue, but for me, because the first Smash Bros, that's how you jumped. Well, you can jump other ways too, but I just can't undo 20 years of muscle memory. Like I just can't do it. It's very difficult to get over. I think I just got to put a little bit more, maybe more time into it, but I kind of don't want to put in more time into it.
And that's where my issue is. So the jump button isn't quite as big of an issue for me.
Hmm.
I don't have the length of Smash Bros. Experience or even skill or any of that. But the part for me is that it doesn't. The biggest issue. There's lots of pros. We're kind of focused on the negatives. There are lots of pros. It's competent. It's functional. It's fun to play. They picked fun properties. But the biggest thing for me is that it feels like it doesn't feel as intelligently put together as Smash Bros. Like the arcade mode, I don't know if it is random, but it feels like it's just a random character in a random stage. Like there's
Yeah.
no like creativity, there's no good feeling of progression. It just feels like a random jumble that gradually gets harder. There's no final boss. Some of the moves to me don't feel like they're in like the intelligent place. Like it should be kind of intuitive that you know the up light move should sort of resemble that, and most of the time they are, but not always. And like Nintendo, it feels like always. It just feels like you kind of
Oh
know
yeah.
what to expect. So there's things like that that make me feel like it's not as intelligently designed, and that makes me not want to stick with it. But
Yeah. No, I agree with, with all that.
but
I guess let me say some
gotta get
positives,
some
I guess.
positives though, because we pretty harsh so far. But it's
Yeah.
not a bad product on its own merit.
Um, it's a pretty good clone. It's a decent clone, right? I feel like if I feel like if you clone people, right? like that person would be like, if I was Smash Bros. And someone cloned me, they would be like 80% of me, but that 20% is like so essential to being me that it's missing that. Like clone me doesn't like Batman and Avatar. You're like, wait, what? That's weird. That's not
Or
really
even either one
Chris.
of those, it would be so essential to your core that'd be like that ain't right.
Yeah.
My biggest positives are that these properties, there are a lot of properties that are just entertaining to fight with, and then it's not
Mhm.
overwhelming. Not that it's like a younger audience type of game than Smash Bros, because Smash Bros is pretty good for all audience, but it's not at all overwhelming. It has a feel like pretty much anyone who owned a Switch and kind of like Nickelodeon could pick it up and have some element of fun with it. So I'm going to give it that as well.
Yeah. They have some good nostalgia feels to it, I think also. I think it put some pretty good characters across the spectrum of Nickelodeon's
Obviously, the
vast
Avatar
history.
characters is a huge
Yeah.
boost for us, at
And
least.
I will say I had a lot of I'm I want to play the game a lot more. I just haven't had the time to nor the passion to really because I don't know, I'm so distraught by that. But I played with Toph, and Toph for some reason feels very fluid. Like she plays so well, and so I'm excited to explore some other characters.
I played mostly with Toph just based on what you had told me, and I would agree
Mm,
she feels very fluidly. And then I moved to Aang next, and I was fairly pleased, but I get where the
yeah,
difference is. I don't have a huge drive to continue playing, but at some point you and I will get in the same room, and we'll a try to kind of figure things out a little better, and
yeah.
b spend some actual time playing this thing. But in the
We might
meantime,
we
oh
might be able to
sorry,
play online.
we I haven't even tried it yet, but I presume surely you can set up a private room,
Yeah,
force ourselves to
I
try
mean,
some new characters and such.
yeah. Not that I wouldn't, not that I don't want to play in the same room as
Right,
you.
right.
I welcome that,
That
but
is much less convenient of the options.
yeah,
I'm gonna go ahead and give it. Not that I'm real big on rating stuff during this segment, but I just for to kind of make a point, it's like a C grade for me. It's there. Maybe a C plus, like it's average, but ever so slightly good
yeah.
average.
It's like yeah. I think a C is a really good grade because like in high school I didn't try that hard, but I was good enough to make a C. This game should have tried harder to get a better grade. It could have tried harder, but it was probably limited in some type of capacity, or it just knew what it had to do to get a C. So yeah, C is
Yeah.
good.
And fingers crossed that I wouldn't expect a lot of functional changes or a lot of major updates, but at least if DLC brings some more fun characters to the table, that might be kind of interesting. I wouldn't
Yeah,
expect it to change most of our qualms, but
yeah.
we'll see. Chris, thanks a lot for joining Pokedjacent, for filling in for Jesse. We really appreciate it. I know Jesse would love to talk anything anime for far too long. And Chris, we actually have plans for you to come back on this segment in the future for a very Chris centric topic. So looking forward to that as well. Thank you, everybody. I'll put all Chris's details down in the description. And I don't plan on recording any part of the Pokemalarkey after this segment right here. So I'll see you all later. Have a great week.